الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. So last week we had left off on Surah Quraysh, and at this ayat 4, I did not complete, so we're starting with ayat 4 from Surah Quraysh. فَلْيَعْبُدُوا رَبَّ هَذَا الْبَيْتِ. They should worship the Lord of this house. Qu'ils s'adorent donc le Seigneur de cette maison. बस वो इबादत करें उस घर के रब की. So here the first word in Arabic is fa, and this is here translated as then, and en français donc. Urdu में pas, and the lam here stands for should or devrait, and Urdu में चाहिए. So fal is should then or devrait donc or pas चाहिए. Ya'budu, they worship. Il sador, वो इबादत करें. Rab, Rabba is Lord, Seigneur, Rab, Urdu में Rab. Hada, this, in français set. Urdu में ये or is. Al-Bayt is house in English, en français is maison, Urdu में घर. الذي أطعمكم من جوع وآمنكم من خوف. Who has fed them against hunger and has given them security against fear. Qui les a nourris contre la faim et leur a donné la sécurité contre la crainte. जिसने उन्हें भूख से निजात देते हुए खाना खिलाया और उन्हें खौफ से अमन दिया. So this is a little bit longer ayat. The first word is alladhi, which is who. Qui en français, जिसने उर्दू में. At'ama is fed, à nourrir en français. Kana kilaya, Urdu में. Hum is them, en français les. Urdu में उन्हें. Min, against, translated in English as against, or en français contre. Urdu में से. Ju'in is hunger. La faim, en français, Urdu में भूख. Then this is wa, we very simple as and en français et, Urdu में or. Amana, security, en français sécurité, et aman, Urdu में aman. Hum is again, this is them, leur, Urdu में उनने, min is from, and or en français de. So we see in the instance that the word min, it occurs twice. Here we can see that it can be translated as against, or in French contre, or in English from, or de en français. So it min has it can be translated in some more ways than one. Khawf is fear. En français, crainte. En Urdu में khawf. So here under the commentary, Hazrat Muslim Maud Ta'ala Anhu writes that it was indeed a great divine favor that as servants of the Kaaba, the Quraysh were granted perfect security from fear, while all around them raged fear and insecurity. Besides, they were provided round the year with every kind of fruit and food. All this was not due to mere chance. It was in pursuance of a divine plan and in fulfillment of a prophecy made by the patriarch Ibrahim or Abraham والسلام, 2,500 years before. And then there's reference to those prophecies in the Holy Quran here given. The verse drives home to the disbelieving Quraysh their guilt of ingratitude by telling them that they had taken to the worship of gods made of wood and stone. So what blessing that when we complete this surah, Quraysh, where we left off last week, covering this beautiful surah as it came before, with that the surah Al-Fil, where Abraha came, the Christian leader Abraha came to destroy the Kaaba, and in fact could not do it and was destroyed. His large army was destroyed, and then this surah actually is a sequence to the events that came, and showing on how there was a great fulfillment, and reasoning behind that Allah was saving the Kaaba so that it would strengthen those who were there around it, and it would be set as a stage for the future for Muhammad Sallallahu, as Muhammad Sallallahu was born in the same year when the attack of the Kaaba came about, and the prophecy of all these things happening. So this is a very wonderful surah and a reminder for all those disbelievers in Islam and disbelievers in the prophecy of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. Now we will go to next the next surah. Just a second here, just to get the next surah so that we can follow along. out. We didn't have issues that we were having before with sharing the screen. So, Alhamdulillah, we have here Surah Al-Maun, and this is chapter 107. I just want to make a correction that I believe that last presentation, Surah Quraysh, I had written that it was Al-Maun. That was a mistake there. That I had written down, so I want to correct that. That last was Surah Quraysh, and this is Surah Al-Maun, which is number 107. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون. The introduction to this surah by Hazrat Muslim Maud is that this surah, like the one preceding it, the one before it, is among those revealed very early in Mecca, at Mecca. It takes its title from the word Al-Ma'un, with which it ends. In the preceding surah, the Quraysh were told that God had granted them peace and security from danger and had provided them with all necessities of life purely out of His grace and mercy and not due to any effort on their part or because they deserved all these favors. They were warned, therefore, that as an act of gratitude, they should have rendered sincere and devoted service to their gracious Maker. But they became engrossed in the pursuit of worldly affairs and took to idol worship. In this surah, it is stated that love of the world causes nations to lose faith in the hereafter and to consign God to oblivion. The surah deals with two basic principles of Islam whose neglect constitutes denial of religion itself. The principles are the worship of God and the service of fellow human beings. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful. Au nom d'Allah, le gracieux, le miséricordieux. Allah के नाम के साथ जो बे इंतहा रहम करने वाला, बिन मांगे देने वाला और बार बार रहम करने वाला है. So the first word here is be, is with, in English, and en français au. Urdu में साथ. Ism is name in English and nom en français and naam Urdu mein. And Allah in Arabic stays the same in all languages. Ar-Rahman, translated in English, is gracious. En français, le gracieux. Urdu mein behad rahmat wala. And Rahim, merciful in English, and le miséricordieux en français. Urdu में बार बार रहम करने वाला. So here in there is a commentary. Hazrat Masih Maud alayhi salatu wasalam has given extensive commentary on this Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim and also on Surah Al-Fatiha. But he comments on that in such an extent, even just for this one ayat. And I would like to read some of what he has said in some commentaries, and that's what I would like to add here, um, so that we get a deeper understanding of the connection of Bismillah Rahman Rahim, not only as a as a starting point to every surah, but as a point of great blessing for us, and how we can understand. So, Promised Messiah Salatu Islam, in sort of introducing this, says that this is the first verse of Surah Fatiha and also occurs at the beginning of the other surahs of the honored Quran and occurs also at one place in another passage of the Noble Quran. No other verse is repeated so often in the Holy Quran. Since it has become traditional in Islam to recite this verse before starting on any enterprise, big or small, for the purpose of seeking divine blessings and help, it has become widely known among Muslims and non-Muslims, high and low, so much so that one who is totally ignorant of all other verses of the Quran is likely to be well acquainted with this one. Promised Messiah most rightfully said on even non-Muslims knowing this ayat, and even I had experienced that with sometimes some Christian, some who are not acquainted with the Holy Quran or Islam in depth at all, but they do know this, even this, how to say Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Now, and then he goes on to say that now, therefore, pay attention to the recital of some of the truths comprised in this verse. The principal first purpose of the revelation of this verse is that man who is helpless and ignorant may be enlightened, that Allah is the mighty name of the self-existing being who comprises all perfect attributes and is free from every weakness and defect and is alone worthy of worship, is without partner or peer, and is the source of all grace. The mighty name has many attributes. So, just in reciting Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, we should be understanding here. Bismillah, here the Promised Messiah is talking about the word Allah, and he is explaining that when we are uh, repeating that, we should be, thinking about the mighty name of Allah, who has inside that meaning of his name all perfect attributes. And in that, he is free from all weaknesses, any defects. And on top of that, when we say Allah, we should be thinking that he is worthy of worship, that he, because of his perfection, he is the only one alone who should be worshipped and has no other uh, uh, partner or any other thing similar to him, and that he is source of all grace. So you understand how much Promised Messiah has explained the name Allah in a very short and simple way, in one line. Then he said in another line, the mighty name has many attributes, of which two are mentioned in this verse, namely Rahman and Rahim. The divine word is revealed, and its light and blessings radiate their beneficence by virtue of these two attributes. So all the blessings we can get in the light can come through these two attributes, Rahman and Rahim. And so in this way, when we are reciting Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, when we are reading the Holy Quran, we should be thinking in this way. It should be springing in us the feeling. It should naturally be, if we are focusing, if we're thinking about that we want to know God, that we want to be enlightened by God, that we want to have better understanding. So this is one of the reasons why I'm giving a little bit more uh, depth to the meanings of the words by reading their not just the meaning of the word, but the commentaries that come on those meanings. Now we'll go to the next ayat in this surah. أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ. Hast thou seen him who denies the judgment? As-tu vu celui qui nie le jugement? क्या तूने उस शख्स पर गौर किया जो दीन को जुटलाता है? So here we have, we break down the Arabic, we have ah, which is translated as ha, sorry, translated as has, and en français, ha. Urdu में क्या? The next word is ra'aita, and here in English it's you see. En français, tu vu, and Urdu में तूने देखा. Alladhi is who, qui en français, Urdu में उसे. Yukazibu, yukazibu is the next word in Arabic, and this is reject. Or it has been also translated, can be translated as denies, because you're here talking about denying the religion, a deen, or the judgment. And so it can be either reject or denying. And en français, la même chose, reject ou nie. Urdu में जुटलाता है. And B is with, avec en français, साथ Urdu में. Ad-Din, ad-Dini. So here this word has various meanings, which I'm going to show what Hazrat Muslim said about this word ad-Dini. So it has can be translated as religion or judgment. And in English and en français, la même chose. La traduction en français, c'est religion ou jugement. Urdu में deen. So Hazrat Muslim under the important words on this ayat says that ad-deen, he gives the simple translation as the judgment. And he says that this is an infinitive noun from dal, alif, noon, which means he obeyed. And deen means one, requital or recompense. 2, obedience. 3, judgment or reckoning. 4, ascendancy or predominance. 5, mastery or rule. 6, plan. 7, prayer. 8, religious organization. 9, righteousness. 10, state or condition. 11, divine decree. 12, habit or custom. So here, in the ayat, the Allah is mentioning that about the people who alladhi yukadhibu. They are those who yukadhibu, reject the ad-deen. And here Hazrat Muslim has explained this meaning, understanding that it has a very deep meaning to it when understanding the word ad-deen or deen. It says that in view of the different meanings of deen, the verse may signify he is indeed a very bad man, one who has no faith in divine reckoning, that is that when God is going to judge him. or judge, make a judgment. Two, who disobeys and defies the organization of the community to which he belongs. Three, who does not believe that good prevails over evil in the long run. Four, who does not believe in Khilafat Allah Minhajun Nabuwat, that is, Khilafat on the pattern of prophethood. So interestingly, that these last surahs are related to the latter days. These last surahs in the end of the Quran relates to the latter days, and here the person who denies a deen, Hazur is mentioning here that he is denying the Khilafat which is established on the pattern of prophethood. That is that the Khilafat, first in terms of when um, we see in the time of the Holy Prophet ﷺ that those they didn't believe in the Khilafat after Muhammad ﷺ, and also the Khilafat in the latter days which came after Hazrat Masih Maud. And then he says that five, who does not believe in religion, which is the source and basis of all morals. Six, who does not give up evil ways and does not lead a righteous life. Seven, one with whom the doing of good does not become a habit. Eight, who does not conform his conduct to the divine decree, that is, does not develop in him divine attributes. Who does not worship, who does not worship God, who does not worship, sorry, I just lost my place here, who does not conform his conduct to divine decree, and i.e. mean does not develop in him divine attributes. Nine, who does not worship God with true and sincere devotion. And 10, who has no plan in life, that is, who despairs of his future. Thus, the word ad-din includes in its significance all those things, violation of which results in complete moral ruin of individuals and nations. So when we are reading this, أَرَأَيْتَ الَّذِي يُكَذِّبُ بِالدِّينِ, that has thou seen him who denies the judgment. So it has a vast meaning, not just denies religion, but denies the pattern, morality, the patterns of and accountability. And we can see that this is the state of the world even today, that the world is going rapidly. People, generations, and people daily are being persuaded into this sort of giving up of following any guidelines and any um, way, moral ways of living their life, and trying to be free and trying to be sort of live a rebellious sort of life, thinking that there will be no accountability, and rejecting any system, organized system, which can be a benefit to them. So, inshallah, we will continue on with the next verse next week, because of there is some schedule change due to Mrabi Saab had left for a month and a half, and Marbi Nabil Mirza Saab is left, and they've shifted the class to Monday, Tuesday, just for the translation of the Quran commentary, which I'm giving. Due to that, today we will have this class, and tomorrow, because of scheduling problems, and I had prior engagement, other Jamaat engagement, I will not be able to take the class tomorrow. So inshallah, next week we'll be having on Monday and Tuesday. The class will continue. Jazakumullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.